So how's your day going?
All right. My hair's really wet still.
Hi, everybody.
It's all right.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Good
I forgot
afternoon,
to
good
tell my
evening,
mom
and good
we're
night.
doing a live stream.
Whoops.
Hold on. Let me message my mom.
She's going to get the notification. She's going to be so upset.
I don't know that she pays attention to her notifications. I can't imagine my mom liking notifications on her phone.
I don't.
Wait.
Showing you that, I get
I know.
very, very few.
Right.
Couple. I find them irritating.
I have to have all of the notifications. So
Your phone's insane. I don't know how you navigate that. I have no idea.
Because I have to keep track of everybody's life in our house. I am the house manager. And so I have to keep on top
She's
of
not just the producer for the channel. She's the producer for the house.
Indeed. Hello, hello.
Hello to Finland.
My hair. I just got out of the shower. So my hair is extra special right now.
My hair is not because I don't have any.
It's still wet. Oh, people saying where they're from. Hello. I do a lot, yes.
It's true.
Somebody has to.
It's true.
Oh, hello to the island. I've got a kiddo on the island right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. One of the three is on the island right now. It's kind of how summer goes. There's usually at least one child on the island at a time. They just rotate who it is. I'm watching from Fort Albany, Ontario. Did you see any NHL players when you were in New York?
Nope. I mean, with the crowds as they were, could have been almost anybody in those crowds that
It was so hard to see anybody. And we're not tall.
I did a double take with one person that was cosplaying as Bianca Belair. They almost got me where I was like, is that? It wasn't.
Yeah, she was really good.
That was close. I was really surprised. But it was not her.
We haven't seen Odyssey yet. I would really like to see that in theater. That one looks like it could be cool in theater.
It's 3 hours. So
that is a really long time for a
movie. It's 3 hours. And I got to get her to go to Spider-Man at the end of this month too. So
yeah. Just getting into hockey big time, and I've loved your videos. You've taught me so much.
Thank you.
Nanaimo started the world of Invercargill. The end. I don't know what that means. Oh, my mom's on here. Yeah, a new message in her would.
There you go. Can Hertzkovian be the guy to replace Bork? Not offensively. Maverick Bork's offensive upside is much higher than Hertzkovian's. Hertzkovian's a good, hardworking player. He's not going to score like Bork can.
Hello from your crawl space. What do you think was the most interesting move of the off season so far?
Most interesting move of the off season so far. I do think that the moves made by Washington are interesting, both with Kyrou and with with Tuck, because I think Washington feels like they're really close to being in contention. And so those two moves for me are interesting because I don't know if that necessarily gets them there. But the voting's telling me a lot of people feel like they're the most improved team. So we'll see.
Looking forward to all the hometown remix jerseys.
Me too. Same. That was a frequent topic of conversation when we were in New York.
It was. How are the wildfires here, Boundary Waters? Tamed down a bit for now. I have two friends that have had to evacuate. We don't have fires here. They're a little bit more inland from us. It's not as smoky today as it has been. No. We haven't had as much smoke as a lot of other places just because of how the wind is moving, which is a nice change because we do usually get a lot of smoke because we are in a valley. But there are fires about an hour away from us.
Yeah, and they're bad.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I have one friend that the fires, she's shared the most terrifying pictures. The fires got right up to her house. Her and her daughter left. Her husband stayed. They own a farm, and he was kind of protecting the house. And luckily, it just missed their house. And then I have another friend that is still evacuated, and they don't know how their house is doing. They're in Boston Bar, which is where Big Fire is, local to us.
Yeah.
Thank
and
you.
it's not that long since Lytton basically burned to the ground.
Oh my gosh.
That wasn't that many years ago.
And they've got fire there too.
They do. Yep.
Which is terrible.
Yeah, I have a friend up there.
Thank you for taking time out of your day to do this.
No problem.
Oh, somebody shared some memberships again. That's awesome.
Very nice. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Do you think the Canes will make any moves this season? I'm a little worried with Florida back in it.
Carolina doesn't have to do much of anything. They won the Stanley Cup. I know there's a lot of talk about them around Hellebuck. If Hellebuck gets traded, there's a chance he goes to Carolina. Carolina, though, doesn't really need to do a lot. And with Florida, they're not in the same division as Florida. So the only time they'd have to worry about Florida is likely in a conference final. So should be in pretty good shape that way.
Are you guys fans of amusement parks?
I mean, the only one we've been to is Disneyland.
Yeah, we don't really do big rides, either one of us.
No.
I don't like rides with drops, and he doesn't like rides with drops or spins. So
I don't like that feeling of being completely out of control, and that's what part of it is. Because the teacups don't bother me at all.
Right.
The teacups I can do it at Disney, and if it was just a Disney thing, I wouldn't be able to do the teacups.
Yeah,
but
that one took you a little bit.
The roller coaster ones,
there.
Those ones not so much.
What are the Wild doing at center depth? Otherwise, they seem like a serious contender, but I have a hard time thinking that with their centers.
That's part of the reason why a lot of people attach them to Dylan Larkin. We don't know if he's going to get moved or not this summer based on the change in general manager for the Detroit Red Wings. I honestly, I do think they need another center. The biggest issue with the Larkin trade is Detroit would want a center back in that trade. So they definitely need another center. The problem is there are a lot of other teams that are looking for center depth as well.
What are you getting, a pet pigeon? No, I'm not doing it.
Like a Pidgey and Midgey?
I'm not doing it.
They could just be up on here. I could hang out with them.
Can you imagine? Oh, no.
You just hang out with the pigeons. And they're sweet and affectionate and they cuddle.
And they're still birds.
But they're sweet and they're affectionate and they're smart.
I know.
We could teach them to go to the mail and get the mail.
We carry the keys and put the key in there and turn it.
That's why we send both of them. So they can figure it out together. Be fine. Be great. They could go out and start the car for you.
I don't need them to. You just push the button on the
Well, then they'll push the button on the key fob for you.
I don't need somebody to push a button for me.
And then they could come with us when we drive places.
Oh, God.
We could take them to Vancouver. We could take them all over.
There's no birds in my car either. No birds in my house. No birds in my car.
I think it'll work. I think it's a good idea.
I'm not doing it.
I think she'll be fine.
I will not.
It'll work. It'll be fine.
It's not going to happen.
It'll be okay.
Nope.
Yep, it'll be fine.
Nope. Okay. All your videos are such great historical record of the NHL. Really enjoying watching your old videos on the Hurricane when they were just starting to get out of their funk.
Yeah, that was quite some time ago. They've had a nice long run since then. But yeah, Carolina was in that funk for better part of a decade. So I'm glad they got out of that funk too. Hey, kitty.
See, I'm not the only one that thinks that. I'm with Yvonne on this one. Good. Thank you. When THG talks about pigeons, it reminds me of Tommy Boy talking about his pretty new pen.
I wouldn't do that with Pidgey and Midgey.
I will not come around to the idea of pigeons. I like birds outside. Birds are great outside.
Do you hear that? I can get a pigeon as long as I have a nice enclosure outside for it.
I didn't say that either because I know I would be doing a lot of work. So
no, we could get the cats.
I already have a bunch of animals that I have to clean up after all the time.
We'll train Azrael here. She can learn. Can't you, sweetie?
Big. She's actually really tiny. She's not a big
She's
cat.
Round.
She is a very, very small cat.
She's a round kitty.
We have small kitties other than Shadow. Pixel's not too small. She's petite, but she's not very small.
There you go, baby.
Have you ever considered acquiring a ferret? No.
No,
Cute,
ferrets smell.
No.
They smell. There's a smell to ferrets. They're sweet little animals, but they have a smell.
You could make friends with a wild pigeon, maybe.
I tried.
That
I
is
tried the
his
whole time we
goal.
were in New York. I talked to every single pigeon, and they have millions of them. And every time I saw one, I talked to it.
He did.
There was one that
Remember-
kind of cocked his head and kind of came over to
Do
me.
you remember that one in Vegas?
Oh, the special looking one.
He really does try and lure the pigeons to
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
No. The cats would like some pigeons, I'm sure. I hope Bear doesn't find out you're holding some other cat. She does get jealous.
She hates Azrael.
She does.
Yeah. Her and Azrael do not get along. Their
'Cause
personalities are too similar.
Yeah. Azrael's really snuggly too.
Yeah. She's down here sleeping though. Bear's down here sleeping on the floor.
Yeah, she's asleep. Happy Catter Day.
Happy.
Love the Minnesota jersey, Shannon.
Thank you. This is the 80s design, early 80s.
How would you have rated the Avs if you added the Nordiques to the mix?
I mean, I love the Nordiques. I did. And when they moved to Colorado, that was a tough one. Yeah, I really like the Nordiques. I know if something happened and the Quebec Nordiques came back, they would immediately be one of my favorite teams. But it doesn't really have an effect on Colorado. I'm not sure why my fandom went to Dallas with the North Stars, other than the fact I'd rooted for the North Stars for over a decade.
I wish there was a video footage of Shannon talking to pigeons. Also, I do the same thing. It's not just pigeons.
No, I talked to the squirrels too.
Yes.
Those squirrels in New York were like
Round.
close, and they were close.
Yeah, no fear and round.
And then I come home and the squirrels here just run away, and we feed them every day. And I'm like, you guys are really not very nice to me, considering we feed you all the time. And those ones in New York were just hanging out like, hey, what's up? And just, no fear. And that kind of ticked me off a little bit.
Do the cats scrap with each other?
Not physically.
No, they just
they get
hiss at
hissy
each other all
half
the time.
slap at each other, and
yeah, they do.
Nobody makes contact. No. They just growl. I would say once every other night at about 2 or 3 in the morning, I'm woken up in the middle of the night by cats who are arguing and squabbling. She sleeps through it. I get woke up and I have to get up and deal with it.
I sleep through everything but children.
It's almost every night sometimes that they're arguing, and it's usually that Bear's got herself cornered in the washroom, or Pixel's cornered in some part of the downstairs by Shadow, and I have to go. And if I stomp my feet, Shadow's gone before I get there. If it's Azrael, she's like this before I get there because she's all scared. But I do that so that it just stops.
Shannon's done videos on how the YouTube channel started.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have any personal favorite hockey videos?
Oh, geez, favorite hockey videos. Not really. Yeah, not really. It's funny too, because I cover hockey every day, so I don't really seek out hockey content when I'm not doing videos.
No.
So I wouldn't say I have a favorite hockey video.
Do you get woken up by zoomies? Shadow. I call him Thumpy.
He doesn't wake me up doing that.
So loud. No.
He wakes me up if he runs across the bed.
He does that every once in a while. I have to be over here now.
And he'll run across my stomach and across her stomach and then land at the bottom of the bed. And it's great.
Our bedroom, and the set, we're downstairs. There's an upstairs, and Shadow will be upstairs running through the hall or running down the stairs. And he makes more noise walking than I do. He is so loud.
He's boy.
I don't know how he can be so loud when he is so tiny.
I'm loud too when I walk.
He's not tiny, but he's a cat, so
it's a boy thing.
Do you know if TEG has enough other sports jerseys to do a countdown on his channel? I miss last year's countdown content.
I definitely have enough baseball.
Yeah, you do.
I definitely have enough baseball. And of course, I added a couple of baseball jerseys when we were in New York. So Yvonne's been bugging me to get some more. She almost every day it's, why aren't you wearing your D-backs jersey? You know what would look nice? The D-backs. So
not
you look like you're having a D-back kind of day. Why don't you go put your jersey on?
No, if anything, you're looking kind of like it's a D-back kind of day.
Cannot believe I ordered a black Arizona and I got D-backs instead.
That is so funny. Chinchillas are adorable and
They are.
so soft. Yeah, you're a D-back. Do you know how often I say that when he's wearing that? Sometimes when he's not. But chinchillas are adorable.
Yes.
But we have enough animals. We are at capacity.
Yep.
No more animals. We have to have significantly less animals before we delve into new animals. It's a lot of work for me.
Did your name come up too much?
Thoughts on the Habs?
Good young team. Not a lot of holes in that lineup.
What?
I would think Kent Hughes has done an excellent job with that team over the last few years, and they could very well win that division this year. They could be very dangerous come playoffs in 2027. Hey, kitty.
Yeah, no dogs.
My baby.
We have too many small animals, and dogs are a lot of work. That would not be fair to a dog or all of our other animals for that matter.
Hey.
Huh? What do you think? No, and we have quite a few scaredy cats, so.
Yes. You scared kitty? You scared kitty? Yes, you are.
Yep. Here's Bear. For those of you guys worrying about Bear, because she got really, really sick, she's doing so much better.
Yep.
She just very specific diet now.
Just eat the very expensive, very low-fat cat food.
It is that's all really she can eat. Hard to find low-fat cat food that doesn't have chicken. Even the vet said that, well, normally I would send somebody home with food, but I don't have any food here that she can eat. So she's on a very specific diet. It means I can no longer give her table scraps, which is upsetting her because she's eaten table scraps her whole life. Cheese. And she has to have her own food. So we have to separate her from the other cats when we feed her because she can't eat the food they're eating, and they can eat the food she's eating, but they'll eat all of it. And that's expensive. And it's very pricey. So this is a very expensive kitty right here. And if not for the channel, I don't know if she'd still be here. So thank you guys so much. Yes. What are your thoughts on the Rantanen Stankoven trade at this point? I mean, at the time the trade was made, I didn't like the Stars giving up Stankoven. It's a lot of cap money that's being used by Rantanen. Rantanen's an excellent player, but I think the Stars' Stanley Cup hopes took a bit of a hit in that deal. Love the channel. Want to say I loved the panel, but felt you guys were done dirty by not being called upon more often. Also, just saw the Mighty Ducks movie. Far better than Slapshot, in my opinion. I was okay with the panel, how that turned out. I was okay with how often we were called upon. I think part of it is that they were covering all the sports. So obviously I'm specifically towards hockey on it. And we're both hockey. So yeah, we're two people for hockey, whereas the other guys were different. Well, one of the guys really specialized in hockey as well. So Chris. Yeah. So there were three of us that were hockey. Yep. So I think that's kind of why they did the questions that way. It was fine. I was very nervous when I was up there. I was very, very nervous. That paper was just a shaking in my hand. And yeah, I was not as nervous as the guy next to me. He was very nervous. He was a bucket of nerves. Before we went on the stage. If my mic wasn't live, I would have been under my breath telling him, you're good. Just doing fine. Deep breaths, you're fine. You're doing well. Today is my St. Bernard Louis' 8th birthday. The goodest boy ever. Can you give him good birthday wishes? Happy birthday to the dog. 8 years, great long time. And yeah, congratulations. For the kitty fund. Thank you. She really is doing so much better. Yeah. Like, we didn't realize. So she had pancreatitis, and the food that she was eating, even though we do have them eating pretty good cat food that's made here in Abbotsford, which is awesome, but we have them on grain free, which really helped her and Shadow and Pixel. But she's also allergic to chicken. So they were on pretty good food, but she has to be low fat now. And I have not found any kibble food that she can eat. No. None. I went through the pet store
Because
and
if it's low fat, it's gonna have chicken in it. And she
right.
can't have chicken. And of
But
course, if it's beef, it's gonna have a higher fat content.
but already in the week and a half, she's already gaining weight back. She's already looking so much healthier. Like she had lost a lot of her
You
muscle
be
mass.
nice. Pixel's allowed to be in here.
And so she was looking kind of skeletal. She's already looking a lot healthier. So
Pixel came in. That's why she wanted down. You be nice to Pixel. She doesn't want Pixel be in here.
how old is Bear?
She's turning 13
Yeah.
in short order. She's gonna be 13. So she's at that age where for cats that's considered elderly.
Yes. Would you have been more nervous if you had never been in front of the camera?
It's different. It's very, very different being in front of a bunch of people as opposed to talking to a camera like this. It is a completely different feeling. What helped me with it was that I did a lot of drama when I was younger. I used to go in front of my church a lot and talk on my own in front of my church quite a bit. So I had some experience with that, but this was still very, very different. And it's been a while since I did any of that.
Do you think Houston or Austin will get the team and why?
Houston has such a large base in terms of how many people they can attract. I think Houston is still the place where they're going to go. If they go to Austin, it's going to be they got a great deal and they figure that people will make the trip to Austin to watch them. But I still think it's probably going to be Houston.
What do you think of Canada putting $1 billion into soccer?
Good. We've got an upswell of support for soccer. The Whitecaps are trying to basically own BC Place, which I think would be fantastic. Keeping the Whitecaps is important. It'd be embarrassing to host the World Cup, and Vancouver did a great job hosting the World Cup, and then lose their soccer team. So I'm going to try to follow MLS a little bit more than I have, and maybe throw some videos here and there on the entertainment guide for that. Because I really, really enjoyed watching the World Cup, and I think it would be great to continue on with that content after.
I saw Canada is also putting money towards other sports too, not just soccer.
Well, they have to.
So,
after the way the last Olympics went, it's clear that there's not enough funding for the athletes. They have to clean that up.
We haven't got American mail for a bit, so
been a
any
while.
mail that's down there.
I've got a Danhausen
still be down
jersey
there, yeah.
waiting to come up.
I think it's been about 3 weeks.
I'm excited for the Danhausen jersey.
3-4 weeks since we've got American mail, so I'm sure we'll get American mail pretty soon here.
Because as soon as I saw Danhausen had a hockey jersey that had cursed across the front, I'm like, oh, this is every Vancouver's fan dream. This is the jersey for the Vancouver Canucks. And it's even red, yellow, and black. So perfect.
I would be so upset if the Jets left again.
That's if that was going to happen, you'd have warning. There has been nothing indicating that's going to happen, and I really don't think it will. They're owned by one of the richest men in Canada. I don't think there's anything to worry about with the Jets over the short term.
Do you think CBC Gem will air more PWHL games? That'd be great.
I would imagine between them, TSN, Sportsnet, I hope everybody does. Give that league the support. There's a lot of teams now. I honestly, I'm excited to see how this year turns out for the PWHL. And then to see that signature we got while we were down at Fanatics Fest, see if that ends up being worth a couple of bucks, because get a signature from one of the young players.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What is the one jersey you wish you had, but you don't have yet?
This is tough. There's two. There's the Kings away jersey, their current away jersey. Have not been able to find it anywhere. The Devils Stadium jersey from a few years ago that was just red and black. I don't have that. Outside of that, I don't think there's anything else I'm missing. I think that's it.
Do you have a favorite NFL football team?
Chargers. The Chargers and the Bengals are my favorites because, which going back to the panel we did, that made me a little bit more nervous with Chad Ochocinco being out there because, like, I watched him with the Bengals. And when he talked about, only being hit twice that he remembered, and one of the times he got knocked out, I was like, I remember that. I remember him getting knocked out. That was a scary event. I wanted to add follow-up questions, but I was like, we're not here to interview him about getting knocked out on the field. So that was weird because that was somebody I'd watched on TV, and he's this big star, and he played on the team that I rooted for. I've rooted for the Bengals and the Chargers since like the 80s.
Does Florida get a PWHL team?
Eventually. There's other cities that need to get that first, though. And I'm not sure where they're going to stop. I'll be interested to see how many teams they add before they say, okay, that's enough. And then you just try to build the stability rather than just growing the league. I don't know that we're there yet. I don't think we're there yet, but I don't know. 16 teams I could see being like where they end up for now, maybe 20, but Florida's got to get in there at some point. They have to get a team in Florida.
Oh, try Halo Holistic Wild Caught Whitefish Adult Cat Food. I think that was one of the many cat foods I looked at, and it was still too high in fat. I think
it has to be really low fat content.
I looked at so many. I had two of the people from the pet store looking with me as well.
Yep.
I feel like CBC should just have all of the Canadian PWHL games. Let Sportsnet and TSN battle over other sports. Agreed. That'd be awesome. I think that'd be really cool because everybody has access to GEM. So, yes. That'd be great. Oh, geez, Shannon. Chargers and Bengals. Are you a glutton for punishment?
Yep. Because I cheer for the Padres in baseball. So, everybody, hop on.
Do you have a St. Paul Fighting Saints jersey?
I have a Minnesota Fighting Saints jersey from the WHA, which I got through. Was that through Sports K? I think it was through Sports K that I got the Minnesota Fighting Saints, but I have one.
Do you have a favorite CFL team outside of the BC Lions, or do you not follow the CFL?
When I have followed the CFL, I've generally rooted for the teams out of Ottawa, and I'm saying teams because they lose their team a lot. And I don't know that I like the name Red Blacks. I think I preferred Rough Riders when it was two words. And I know there's already the Saskatchewan Rough Riders, but that's one word. You had the Rough Riders and the Rough Riders, and it's different. They're different. And I understood I was different, and then it became a big joke. And now you got to have the Red Blacks, which, what's a Red Black? Should be the Rough Riders and the Rough Riders. You can even just have one that's Rough Riders and the other one's the Riders. You go that way too.
It's so funny because there's not that many teams, and have two teams the same name is just hilarious.
But that's how old I am. That's how I think of it. And I have no problem different. I remember Martin Short. Yeah. Martin Short had a thing on, I think it's Johnny Carson, where he said, "Oh yeah," he talked to Canadians. They'll say, I hate the Rough Riders, but I really like the Rough Riders. The Rough Riders are one of my favorites, but I can't stand the Rough Riders." And he said, and all Canadians will understand. I'm thinking, well, yeah, because they're said different. There's the Rough Riders and the Rough Riders. It's a little bit different. I like the Rough Riders. Not a big fan of the Rough Riders. Although I lived in Saskatchewan and the green is fun.
You should join the Leafs as well. Just hit all the pain with your teams.
I have the Canucks. I already got the Canucks. And I'm starting to realize that Boston, Dallas, Vancouver, none of them are getting close to the Stanley Cup right now. And I'm starting to get concerned that there won't be that moment on the channel where people go, "Wow, one of THG's teams won a Stanley Cup." I don't think it's going to happen. And I have to assume it's my fault.
It's likely. Do you typically play in a fantasy hockey league?
Nah, I could never keep my attention on fantasy. I don't find it appealing. And my fantasy teams just kind of languish in mediocrity because I don't update them and I don't really pay much attention. So I've never really been big on fantasy.
Do you hate any NHL team and why?
See, it depends on the day. There are times where a team will win and I feel like they shouldn't have won that game. The times that I feel like I'm angry and at the end of the night I'll start yapping at her about it is when a team won a game that I didn't feel like they should have won. or a team that I rooted for, or a team that I wanted to see win the game, just choked it away. That's where I'll get kind of like, I cannot believe that just happened.
Yeah.
What in the hell? Or, stupid penalty in the last 2 minutes. Like, oh, what are they? Oh, of course they give it up. And yeah, I see that's why when I'm talking about my favorite through least favorite teams, it gets difficult because people are like, he really hates our team. It's difficult to hate a team when you watch all 32 teams all the time. You watch so many games all the time. It's very difficult to go, well, I really hate them when there's so many different games on. So yeah.
And even with that, there can be teams you don't like, but you like players on the team.
Absolutely. And there's at least one player on every team that I like.
THG was looking for the new Los Angeles Kings white away jersey. Since the Kings made the change, found one in Massachusetts at Pure Hockey. Yeah.
I even asked Fanatics at one point, and we never heard from that guy again. It's one of the contacts of Fanatics. He's like, well, if you ever have anything that you want. And I said, actually, now that you mention it. And I mentioned the Kings away jersey, and he seemed thrown by that. He's like, I didn't expect you to have an answer that quickly. And I'm like, well, look at my collection. Of course, I have a quick answer about what I'm looking for. But and then we never heard from him again. So, and I did bring that up when I went to New York, and I said, I guess I broke that guy because I never heard from him again. But that's the one jersey I'm looking for. So Fanatics is where I'm looking for it. And the reaction I got from the guys was basically, yeah, we don't know where you can get that either. So it's awesome. It's great.
Please, dear hockey gods, give me reason to believe in my Red Wings, and without word from the gods, I'll take some measure of encouragement from THG.
The Wings have been close. The Wings have been very close. They've not been able to get across the finish line. It's going to have to be improvement from within. Either they get everything paved over with the Larkin speculation and everything's okay. The fans boo him for the first couple of weeks, or maybe the first week and he has a really strong first week and then they forget all the booing. But they've been close. And it is the toughest thing when a team is close and not quite good enough to be in the playoffs. At some point, they have to get there.
Have you ever done a video on the teams in the old WHA? If not, it would be great if you did a WHL video and jersey video.
I've done a WHA series where I looked at the league from year to year and all the teams that moved. The teams that moved, it is insane how quickly, and they did it in the middle of the season. That's what gave me the idea of the one April Fool's Day for a player who got traded so many times. And I had it where every team he went to folded. So I put him in the WHA and played it off that he was in every WHA city that folded, and it worked out really well. There were people who thought it was a legitimate video until the very end.
Right.
Burger Diggins. So Burger Diggins, every team he went to either moved or folded.
Where else could you see Larkin going if he did expand his trade list?
I mean, I could see him going to one of the California teams if he's willing. The LA Kings would love to have Larkin as a 1-2 with Quentin Byfield. So if he was willing to go to the LA Kings, I think that would be a potentially good fit. LA's got some good young players there too. They might be able to work out a trade that Detroit likes.
That was the best, LOL. Larkin to the Avs, Larkin to the Flyers.
I still think Kings. And if he was going to go to the Avs, they'd have to trade out. You'd have to think Kadri would go. They'd have too many centers.
How can you write such small font on whiteboard and it's so clear to read? Amazing.
Practice.
The content is good too.
Practice. When I started with the whiteboards, it was not that clear.
Best WHL jersey is Red Deer, in my opinion.
See, I like the Prince George jerseys are nice. Vancouver's had some nice jerseys too, the Giants.
Oh, yeah.
And if you're talking WHL, I still think the Victoria Royals have the nicest jerseys.
They do have a really nice
Victoria Royals, just absolutely beautiful jerseys.
Do you have the Minnesota 1992 NHL 75th jersey? Which one's that?
I mean, I have the 92 North Stars. They didn't do anything special for the 75th anniversary. They had the same jersey, just had the 75. Everybody wore the 75 on the jerseys that year. I could get the 75 logo and affix it to that jersey, although I already have a Stanley Cup final patch for that jersey.
I would be writing so crooked. There are times.
There's times that I do and I have to restart.
There are times where he'll call me in and, Yvonne, does this look straight? Every once in a while. Yeah, the 75 patch, yeah. I'm amazed that you are left-handed and don't smear the board when you write on it. My dad's a lefty, and I think he'd throw the board through the wall in frustration.
Because my hand doesn't touch the board. The marker touches the board. I keep my hand above the board and just write on it. I've had to learn to do that. I've been doing it my whole life. So one thing that helped too was that I used whiteboards before I was the hockey guy. When I worked at a call center, I very often was at a whiteboard training people. I'd be the one in the training room helping people out, like new hires or people who were struggling on their calls and helping them with call flow. So I got used to writing on a whiteboard for all that. And then I had to do it at not so much at the meat plant, but there were times where I'd be using the whiteboard because I was in the training department there too. So yeah, it's just I've had a lot of practice with whiteboards over the years.
Do you have a Ric Flair robe?
Where would I put a Ric Flair robe?
Right.
And when would I wear a Ric Flair robe? Like,
Just,
I don't know.
Walking around the house.
I don't. It's like the championship belt thing. I don't know when I would carry a championship belt.
Walking around
either.
the house.
I don't know, and
I
just
see it.
yell woo every now and then, just randomly.
Totally
I don't know.
I can see it.
I have more of the Otis figure than the Ric Flair figure. So I'd be, and I'm not doing the Otis hip thrusting because the internet is not ready for that. So that's not going to happen. I can't do the worm either. So I mean, I can go down, land on my face. The getting up and actually doing the wormy part is a little bit dodgier.
Came across your work during the pandemic. I started watching your best playoff series from each year. I miss those. Thanks for what you do.
I really enjoyed doing those videos too. The thing is that when it's specific to something historical like that, the views just don't end up being there.
That's true.
And so that's why there's certain series that I've not necessarily finished or gone back to that I'd like to. There's times where I get really excited about an idea and then I put the video up and it does not perform. And that kind of sucks, but you have to go in the direction that people want you to go.
Do you have an ECHL Iowa Heartlanders jersey as they are leaving the league?
I know. I have the black one. I have the cream colored one. I do need to get the other ones. Need might be a strong term. She might dispute the word need, but yeah, I do need to get other Heartlanders jerseys because they're just gorgeous. They're beautiful. It's a shame.
Should the Florida Panthers play some games in Miami?
If the interest is there, if they're able to make a bit of a spectacle out of it, I think that could work. But that's really the tricky part. They have a good thing going in Sunrise. They have a really good lease in Sunrise. They're very happy there. I could see them having an exhibition in Miami, maybe an outdoor game if they could figure out the logistics of that. But I mean, it wouldn't hurt, but I don't know that there's a lot of impetus behind that right now.
Hellebuck to Colorado, possible? Oh, that'd be terrible.
They don't have the cap space either.
I vote no. That's an awful idea.
And then the issue too is
terrible.
That Colorado has Blackwood and Wedgwood, who have both been very good for them. And I don't know that either of them would be of a lot of interest to the Winnipeg Jets. I don't know that you could sell a Wedgwood for Hellebuck. Obviously, there'd have to be more than just Wedgwood. I don't know that you can sell that on Jets fans. And while Wedgwood's had a really good run in Colorado, his record was spotty before that. I don't know if Wedgwood would be as good anywhere else. So, I mean, I don't think the Avs necessarily need Hellebuck, and I don't know that they could make a trade work there either.
Okay, this is somebody that's been looking for a favorite team.
Okay.
My current list of teams I'm considering are the Blues, the Wild, the Avs, and the Golden Knights.
Okay, so if your goal is short term, you want to see a Stanley Cup winner, Vegas and Colorado would be your best picks there. If you want to watch a young team grow together, the Blues could be the team that you'd pick there. And the team that's emerging as a cup contender, the Wild are getting into that conversation now. So it depends on what kind of team you're looking for. And if it's best logo of the bunch, that's the Wild. Best jerseys of the bunch, I would also lean towards the Wild in that category as well. And then you have something to talk to my wife about if you run across her. So
The Wild
there's
do
that.
have a really pretty logo.
Yeah.
And they have really pretty jerseys. They have quite a few really pretty jerseys.
Your take on the Rangers? Pro Hockey IQ with Dorofeev. Chemistry helps, but changes season to season. Baudouin Smiths make roster out of camp. They've revamped the blue line. They've definitely made enough changes up front. We have no idea how this is all going to gel. The channel vote is not high on the Rangers, which doesn't surprise me too much. They may very well be a blind spot for people right now, not considering all the changes that have been made. It all comes down to whether or not Dorofeev can help replace the offense that was lost in the trade of Panarin. So with Panarin out, you need somebody to pick up that offensive side of things. And maybe it's Dorofeev. We'll see. I don't know that they're a playoff team this year, but again, you get so many changes from one year to the next. It is possible.
Where would you like the NHL Global Series to go next?
I'd love to see it in the UK. I'd love to see like the Global Series, in the UK, put a game in Paris too. Something a little bit of fun there with that kind of thing. I think the Global Series is done pretty well, and I think that they go to locations where they make a lot of money. I think it might be kind of fun to go to a location where hockey isn't necessarily as high profile.
Is Kipper a good name for a cat?
Especially if you're a Flames fan, yeah. Because
totally
Kippersoff.
Yeah.
So
totally works for a cat name.
Although, Kippersoff's first name was Mika. Mika works as a cat name too.
98 Fahrenheit here in Metro Denver.
No thanks.
36.11. So 36 degrees.
No
Holy
thanks.
Hell. That's stupid.
No thanks. That's what it was when we were in New York
awful.
the first day in New York. It was 36. That was
awful.
A lot. It ends up being a lot.
How's the weather here? It's supposed to rain here today. I think it's 20.
Yeah, it's cooled off.
Oh, it's 19. My watch says 19 degrees. It's really nice.
It's cooled off.
We did have some hot days. Not that hot. 36 would be crazy here.
Well, it was 35.
That's stupid.
A few days ago it was 35.
Yeah, and that's rare and stupid.
Yeah.
No. It doesn't get much above upper 20s here often, but 30s would be terrible.
Yeah.
But it's nice and cool. It's supposed to rain this weekend.
Hopefully the fires, we need that for the fires.
We need some rain.
Yeah.
Calgary currently eating wildfire smoke from BC. Yep. 29 and sunny in Montreal.
Soon.
Go there soon.
Soon. We'll be in Montreal soon.
It's 43 in Phoenix.
Well, it is Phoenix. Because Vegas is usually in the 40s at this time of year too. There was that one week we went to Vegas and it didn't drop below 40 the whole week.
Yeah, that was awful. Now you guys are mentioning temperatures here. 42 in Utah the other day. Oh my God.
Yep, that's crazy.
That's awful. Okay. We're going up to Vancouver and Whistler for a vacation late September. First time. Super excited. Oh, you'll love it.
Whistler's gorgeous. Whistler's absolutely beautiful.
You will be amazed by how beautiful it is here.
Yep.
Everybody always is. If you've never been here, you come here and you're like, oh my gosh.
Yep.
It
Whistler,
really is
Whistler Blackcomb.
Pictures.
Whistler Blackcomb is fantastic.
The drive up.
If you can handle
lovely.
heights, there's a peak to peak that goes from Whistler to Blackcomb. Take that. If you can handle heights, if heights don't bother you.
Terrifying.
It's about 1,200 feet in the air. You're just attached to like a wire. So
terrifying.
It is terrifying. We didn't necessarily enjoy it as much as we held on for dear life. But if heights don't bother you, absolutely gorgeous. perfect view of the valley.
Would the NHL ever have glow-in-the-dark jerseys for all teams?
I don't know that they'll do glow-in-the-dark jerseys for all
Well, the
teams. I can't see
Neon
that.
Stars jersey, that wasn't glow-in-the-dark, but
Right.
the Golden Knights had
And
glow-in-the-dark.
Seattle's new third has
Yeah.
glow-in-the-dark as well. I will say that Fanatics is very excited about that kind of technology.
Yes.
Fanatics wants to have some really fun ideas when it comes to jerseys and what the possibilities might be.
That is something they were
I am
talking about.
perfectly fine with helping them work on that kind of thing, and I told them that. So, yeah, I think glow-in-the-dark jerseys are fun within reason. Not every team can necessarily do glow-in-the-dark without it becoming really cheesy. But I will say I think there's going to be some changes to how jerseys are done and everything. I think there's going to be way more chain stitching. I'll just say straight up, they're very proud of the chain stitching.
Yes.
So I think there's going to be
Yeah.
more chain stitching.
Will the NHL expand to another Canadian city? Halifax, Hamilton, Quebec City.
Halifax is too small. Quebec City, the owners feel that it's too small and it won't add anything to the NHL fan base. Hamilton would run into two problems. Toronto and Buffalo would both have a say about Hamilton. I know the league has said no, that wouldn't be an effect, but it absolutely would have an effect. And I don't think either Buffalo or Toronto would be keen on having a team in Hamilton. One of the logical places to put a team would be a second team in Toronto. There's enough of a population. There's enough hockey fans. You could support two teams in Toronto. I don't think it's ever going to happen.
What are your thoughts on Vegas's goaltending?
It's kind of rough in that I know Hart played well enough at points in the playoffs, but he also had his rough spots during the playoffs. He hasn't played a ton at the NHL level over the last little while here. Adin Hill had a tremendous run when they won the Stanley Cup in 23, but since then he's been inconsistent. He's had injury issues. Vegas could honestly use another goaltender, but they'd have to find somebody to take on Hill's contract because Hill would be the one they're trading. And I'm not sure there'd be a taker for that contract right now.
Whistler or Banff? Well, Whistler's local to us.
Whistler's closer
Banff
for us.
is in Alberta.
Banff is, if you're looking
It's
for
a
just
drive.
pure beauty, I would put Banff ahead of Whistler.
Whistler's way smaller.
If you're looking for skiing, I'm pretty sure there's not much of that in Banff, but there's a ton of that in Whistler. And so, yeah.
And Whistler is a lot easier to get to because it's just north of Vancouver.
Yep.
A really, really pretty drive north of Vancouver.
Sea to Sky Highway's gorgeous.
It's so pretty.
It's gorgeous.
Have you ever had a meetup in Windsor, Ontario?
We haven't been to Windsor, Ontario.
Yeah, we haven't done tons of traveling.
Nope, we're working on it. I've now been in MSG. Now when people ask if I've been in MSG, I can say yes. So we're getting there.
Any plans to move? No.
Why would we move?
No.
No,
I hate moving. No. Y'all are the best. In your opinion, what does Utah need to do to replace one of the Avs stars? Wild. That three-headed monster seems like too much.
I think the Wild are going to be very good. I think the Avs will still probably be the best in the division. I could see Dallas falling back a bit, and I do think Utah is going to get better this coming season than they were this past season. I could see Dallas being in a wild card spot this season upcoming. I could see that.
We were in MSG just last weekend.
Yep.
I felt the Rangers had a pretty good draft season. Smits is a great pick. Also, glad you guys had a great time in my neck of the woods in New York City.
New York was nice. One thing I would say, and I said this on the Entertainment Guy channel as well, locals in New York were very friendly to us. We had various times where New Yorkers were coming up and talking to us. The jerseys I was wearing, great conversation starter, whether it was baseball or hockey, whatever I was wearing. And just, I was taken aback at just how friendly everybody was. Although I do think a lot of them knew just from looking at us that we were not from New York.
People kept asking us where we were from, which made me wonder. I did ask a couple of them, how do you know we're not from here? They said the hockey and our accent. which I don't
We don't think
have
of an
that much of
accent.
an accent.
We don't think of us as having an
I
accent.
know there's certain words that we say that do have an accent, but for the most part,
It was
not
really.
really.
Fun though too, being around people that have that really thick New York accent.
Oh
I
my
was like,
gosh.
that's great. I love. And that one police officer was just mad out there, and he's just yelling at
Yelling at
everybody. He's a
people.
big burly dude, and I'm like, that's your typical New York cop right there. Really thick accent and yelling at all the drivers as they go by. That is what I
Yelling
picture
and
with New York.
swearing?
Yep.
I've never seen police yell so much.
I was very happy with that. That was great. I was like, there you go. That's NYPD right there. That's what I think of when I think of New York. I almost heard Hill Street Blues music with that. That was great.
Hey Shannon, I heard there are rumors of the Predators trading Roman Josi. Let me know if I'm correct or it's just a speculation.
I'm going with speculation. I haven't heard anything about Josi being on the block for Nashville. And that contract might not be that easy to trade right now if you're Nashville because of his age and the cap hit. So I don't think Josi's going anywhere. I'd be very surprised if they made a move that major.
Don't believe rumors. Don't believe the people that
this time
videos.
of year there's a lot that's used for clicks. And so they'll take the big name, and where you can tell is they'll have the big name and they'll say to Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal, Chicago, and they're trying to hit all of the teams that people click on the most. And it's amazing how all these players are going to Toronto and none of them do. That's what I always get a kick out of with these rumors is, could they be going to Toronto? No, but you're making people click on your stuff, making them think they are. So I that's why I stay out of it as much as I can.
Next big trade, out of nowhere player.
I think that we'll probably see another trade with an out of nowhere player. I don't know that we'll see it this offseason, though. I kind of feel like all the biggest moves to be made this offseason have been made. Unless the Ducks can't figure out a way to make Cutter Gauthier work after they've signed the Carlson contract. If the rumors about what Gauthier is looking for in his deal, which would put Anaheim in a really bad space with the cap, if those are true, maybe we see Gauthier end up getting traded. That would be the big one if that did happen.
Will Steve Lamar ever get into the Hall of Fame? He's one of my favorite players.
Larmer should have been in the Hall of Fame, I would think, a while ago. I hope he gets in. Larmer was an excellent player. His offense was underrated, too, during his career. He had an Ironman streak. He did not play a soft game for that Ironman streak either. And he was on the 94 Cup winners with the Rangers, right? So he has a cup ring too. No reason, I think, to keep him out of the Hall.
Killed a rat yesterday, although it wasn't as exciting as Scott Mellenby killing a rat. First rat I've ever seen. Thing scared me.
Rats or something.
First rat you've ever seen? How?
I never saw one when I was a kid.
Really? I guess I grew up on a farm, so.
I grew up in a trailer park full of cats.
Right.
So cats deal with those.
Are you going to visit the Bell Center when you visit Montreal?
Our schedule is wide open when we go to Montreal. So, and I'm keeping it that way because I want this to feel like, I don't know, vacation. So I would like to go see Bell Center. We'll see how all that works out once we get there. And yeah, and then I can impart my French on everybody while we're there too. So that should be fun.
People asking about different rumors. A lot of times the rumors are based on nothing. So
yep. And if
who's sharing them,
if I'm not hearing it,
have no actual knowledge of anything.
If I'm not hearing it from somebody that I believe has actual sources close to it, what I'm hearing, well, I think, and what I think, and what we heard was, and yeah, a lot of the time I go, yeah, so we're just speculating, and I try not to speculate.
Also, did you guys go to SNME?
Saturday night's main event.
Oh, okay. And if so, did you find the Knicks stuff too much? If so, we're sorry, but the Knicks finals win in the NBA equivalent of the Leafs finally winning a cup. So we want to celebrate.
I understood why they did all the Knicks tie-ins.
Yes, we did go.
I get why fans around the globe were like, oh, this is too much Knicks stuff. But in that building, that was an electric feeling. That was just, the fans were so very, very into it. When Towns came out and chokeslammed JD and Dominic, that crowd came unglued. So I understand that like Meltzer and guys may not have enjoyed it, but the fans did. The fans in attendance that paid for those tickets did, and I enjoyed it. I don't know, some of the booking was kind of weird, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good show. It probably would have been better suited as like just one of the weekly shows. I don't know that I would put it at Saturday Night's Main Event level, but it was fun. It was fine.
Speaking of the hall, where's Osgood?
Every year I talk about Osgood, I will continue to talk about Chris Osgood. He belongs in the Hall of Fame. He has belonged in the Hall of Fame for a long while. Of the goaltenders who are not in the Hall, I would say Osgood's the most egregious. And I've banged the drum for Curtis Joseph for a long time too, but Osgood I would put ahead of him because Osgood got Detroit to Stanley Cups. He was not a passenger either, especially that last cup that he won. He was a huge part of the reason that Detroit won the Stanley Cup. So I do think he belongs in the Hall.
Do you think Charlotte, North Carolina could get a team? I know it's unlikely, but I would love a proper rival for the Hurricanes as a Canes fan.
The only way Charlotte would get a team would be if the NHL expanded by 4 cities, because it looks like Atlanta and Houston are the 2 front runners. And then they may go back to Arizona. So there might be an opening for a 4th city. And then it's a matter of whether or not the NHL feels like they'd support the team. Do they have a building, and do they have a billionaire willing to spend billions of dollars to get a team?
That is a big part of it. They need
It's a $2 billion expansion fee.
Ridiculously rich person.
$2 billion
to buy the team, not just, hey, a team.
$2 billion just to have a team. Doesn't get you anything more than just, and now it's a team. So that's one of the hurdles. I know that's one of the hurdles for Quebec City too. I don't know that there's anybody who has the money for a $2 billion expansion fee.
Do you think you're going to do a fan meeting in Montreal?
I don't know if we're going to do any kind of meetup at all. It's something we'll think about when we get closer to it, because I need to know.
It is tricky for us doing meetups in places not local to us.
Because I'm not bringing my hockey sticks on the plane. So I'd have to get a stick while I'm there, which easy enough. I can go to Canadian Tire.
But even not, we've done.
But then we have to have a place for it.
And we travel as well.
Yeah, we have.
Like when we go to Anaheim, we usually do non-hockey.
Like dinner.
Yeah, going out to dinner or something. But that can be tricky because we don't know places.
Yeah, we can try to figure something out. We can try to figure something out.
We generally have to have somebody local help us with that.
Yeah.
Some things are really hard to do just over the internet.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Dave Randorf? Enjoyed his work at TSN and Sportsnet, and now with the Lightning, even if I hate the Lightning.
I've been very vocal about my fandom of Dave Randorf going back to his sports page days on CKVU TV in Vancouver. Don Taylor, Dave Randorf, John Shorthouse started out there too. Honestly, great group of guys they had there. I've always been a big fan of Randorf's, and I know he's of a smaller stature like myself, so I was kind of rooted for him in that way too. And I think he's a good announcer. I think he's a very good announcer. I think he keeps his emotions in check for the most part, but he still is exciting to listen to. And I think he brings those Tampa Bay broadcasts up a little bit. I know there's people who don't like him, but I've always liked him. That doesn't change.
Give me your hot takes going into the season, and low takes as well.
Hot takes. Hot take would be like, I think Montreal could be the best team in the division. I think Florida is going to have a nice comeback and be a playoff team, but I don't think they're going to go all out all year. I think they're going to bide their time. I could see Florida winning another Stanley Cup in 2027, which would make people not happy in general, other than Panthers fans. And, low takes. I don't know. Vancouver's going to be 32nd in the league. I think they'll be the worst team in the league, and they still won't win the draft lottery. It's just not going to happen. They will not win the draft lottery ever. They'll win the cup before they win the draft lottery, so it's not going to happen.
A second team in BC?
I can't see that working.
Where would that even work?
The only place
like
you could consider it would be Kelowna, and I can't see it working in Kelowna.
That would be tricky because
not enough people in communities around it. Nope.
Other than that, there'd be Prince George, and they definitely don't have the population.
Or
and
Victoria.
that'd be
Victoria wouldn't have that either.
harder. Yeah, Victoria would be way more likely than up north.
Yep.
That would be tricky. And then it's hard for people to get to it in Victoria.
Imagine if there was a team in Victoria and what that would do to the wait times going across and coming back. So
you have to have a really late night ferry, or everybody'd have to stay in hotels.
Yep.
That wouldn't work very well.
Yeah. So Kelowna is probably the best bet, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon.
No. Okay. Will Buffalo get the 2028 Winter Classic?
I'd love to see Buffalo get another outdoor game. It's always possible. It depends on what the NHL wants to do with their outdoor games, where they want them to take place.
2 teams in each division with the most and least pressure.
Most pressure in the Pacific would be Edmonton and Vegas. Least pressure would be Vancouver and Calgary. Central, most pressure would be Colorado, probably Dallas. Least amount of pressure, Chicago, because they've been and I don't think people expect them to get a lot better. I don't think there's a lot of pressure in Nashville. In the Metro, I would say the most pressure, not necessarily Carolina, because they just won the Cup. You're allowed to be. New Jersey, there's pressure in New Jersey. Maybe Pittsburgh, because Pittsburgh's expected to stay good this season. Least amount of pressure, Columbus and Islanders. Probably least amount of pressure on the Islanders. And then the Atlantic, and then this is it, I promise. Most amount of pressure. There's always pressure in Toronto. There's always pressure in Toronto, no matter how good or bad the team is. With the amount of moves made in the offseason, I think there's some pressure in Toronto. And I think there's a good, healthy amount of pressure in Florida to bounce back. Less pressure. I don't think Boston's under any pressure going into this season, even though management seems to think they're still contending or something along those lines. Less pressure. I don't know that Ottawa's got a lot of pressure either. I think a lot of people expect Ottawa to fall back with the Brady Tkachuk trade. I don't think they necessarily will, but I think that takes some pressure off them. All right, there you go.
Can you tell me, what do you think the Blues do with the TV contract that the NHL has set up for them? And do you think we ever see future jerseys again, like the Burger King jersey?
The Blues are one of those teams that the NHL's taken over the broadcasts of. This is a pilot project that we knew was coming. I think the National Hockey League has been ready to do this for some time because they knew the regional networks were going to fall by the wayside. So I think the Blues will be good there. I expect the broadcast to be pretty darn good. As for Burger Kings and jerseys like that, I don't think we'll ever get that experimental with jerseys. But some of the hometown remix, from what I've heard, are out there. They're a little bit different. And so instead of looking back on the Burger King, we may end up with new ones that we look at and go, wow, what were they thinking with that one exactly? And that's what I'm looking forward to, is the new ones that we're going to be looking at, scratching our heads and going, what were you drinking when you designed this?
When Rangers are underdogs, they usually do well.
Yes, absolutely.
If you're in Kyle Davison's situation, would you be nervous right now for your spot? Also, could we see him trading Frondell for a star forward? If I were in his position, I would help out Bedard.
Frondell has the potential to be one of the best two-way forwards in the National Hockey League. He's not going anywhere. The addition of Kane is meant to help out with Bedard. I think they will continue to look for more help there. They may look on the free agent market a little bit more, but yeah, Frondell is not going anywhere. I cannot see Chicago trade. They'd be crazy to trade him. I think it'd be more likely Levshunov gets traded than Frondell.
I was wondering if you will be doing any more career videos this summer. Those are my favorite videos that you make.
Yes, I will be doing career videos. I am spacing out my off season a little better this year than I have in previous off seasons. So, like for instance, today I'm going to be doing the ranking of number 2 draft picks overall. I'm spacing these out a little bit better. I seem to be figuring out off seasons better now as I get older. But there will be career videos later in the summer.
How do you see the Babcock hire working out in Edmonton?
It'll be fine for the first while. When they hit a long skid, that's where Babcock's grumpiness and his temperament could come into play. If the team plays well, it won't be a problem. But when we hit that 5 to 10 game stretch where Edmonton doesn't look good, that's where we could see reports around Babcock and that kind of thing. I think it'll be fine.
What were your thoughts on John Garrett as an announcer? I'll always remember him from the Boston, Florida series. Great color commentator, will be missed.
Garrett was one of the color announcers that I always appreciated. I always liked. I think I actually liked him better on the national broadcasts than I did with Shorty. I felt like it had a different feel to it when he was on those national broadcasts. He always had good insight, and he always had that good self-deprecating humor that a lot of former goaltenders have that I appreciate tremendously when I'm watching a broadcast.
What if Dorofeyev turns into a playmaker with the playmaking leadership on Rangers?
He's really a sniper. Dorofeyev's a guy who goes to the net and he'll score you a bunch of goals. Not really as much of a playmaker. I would be very surprised if his goal total dropped and his assist numbers went up. I could see the assists going up a bit in New York. He's going to play more than he did in Vegas, I think. But the goals are still going to be in that 30 to 35 range if he's playing well. He's a sniper.
Can Dorofeyev be a Panarin replacement for the Rangers?
He replaces the goals. He doesn't replace the points. So you're going to have the goals, but the replacement of the points is going to have to come from elsewhere. He definitely helps, but not entirely.
The Senators lost Brady Tkachuk. Do you think that's enough to regress or improve?
I understand Tkachuk was the captain, but there were a lot of times over the last few years that I felt like his emotional side, sometimes I felt like his fights weren't very well timed, very well placed. And I feel like if they can find somebody who can be a leader and not have that just overly emotional side, they might be better off. I don't think that Ottawa should be any worse off this year without him. They did pick up Eklund. Eklund's a very good young player. Will not give you the physicality of Tkachuk, but sometimes that immaturity for Brady Tkachuk hurt the team.
Would you ever do a video series on siblings that played at a professional level, like the Suitors, the Cavalinis, the Courtnalls? Thank you for all that.
I did a video on brothers and fathers and sons that played in the NHL. I have also done
quite a few.
I did a career video on all the Sutters. I put all the Sutters into one video. I can definitely do another discussion on brothers and parents that play, and then their kids come along and play as well.
I think that was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? That was quite a while ago.
I think so.
If you're looking at Predators right now, in your opinion, who are the next young stars you like or prospects that you think have a good chance? Also, do you like McFarland for them?
McFarland's a good GM. I think that was a good pickup. I do like that they picked up Maverick Bourque. In terms of their prospects, I'm really hoping Kemmel hits. I hope Kemmel hits at the NHL level. I liked him in his draft year. I like his game a lot. Outside of that, their prospects, I'm not, just off the top of my head, I'm not as knowledgeable on their prospects to throw out a lot of opinions on them. But one thing with Nashville is they do a very good job of developing defensemen. And in general, their draft trade record has been pretty darn good. I'm going to do a video on that later on in the summer, talking about which teams draft well, which can be very subjective. But I have a feeling that when I do all the numbers up, Nashville's pretty good.
With the NHL having an 84-game season, should the league play neutral site games across the U.S.?
I don't know if they've talked about it. I mean, the last time we had an 84-game schedule, that's what it was, where every team was playing the two neutral site games. You have to have the ability to set up an arena where you're going to have all your cameras. You're going to have everything set up for a National Hockey League broadcast. And when you're doing the neutral site games, I remember there were times, I think some of the neutral site games weren't even on TV when they were doing the neutral, and you can't do that now. So it's a lot more difficult now. I think what they could do. So we have this prospect of Houston or Austin coming in, right? You could have 3 or 4 games played in Houston one year. You play 3 or 4 games in Austin the next year, and you see which one works better, which one has better sight lines, which one is going to be
They need to
potentially
be
a
able to sell
better.
the tickets too.
Yeah, and it would definitely show the amount of enthusiasm in each market. So I think they could use it as a potential expansion tool if they did that.
Do you think that the Habs should retire Carey Price's 31 jersey?
I think they eventually will. I would think over the next couple of years they'll retire it. He is enough of a historical figure for them at this point that they could retire that number.
Is McDavid out if they don't get to the cup, and where does he go if that happens?
McDavid is there for the next year at least. If the Oilers don't show any upward mobility in the standings, and if they flame out in the playoffs or don't make the playoffs, I would expect that next summer we'll hear that he would prefer to go elsewhere. I think that as he gets into his 30s, if he's looking to win, that's his prerogative. And if he feels like he's not going to win in Edmonton, that's on Edmonton that they didn't get him that win. So I could see, and if he becomes available, everybody's going to want him. I don't know where he would necessarily go, but everybody will make a play for him.
Career video of Sean Burke, 9 NHL teams plus Canada.
Yeah, I don't think I've done one on Sean Burke, so I probably could.
Oh, just starting to buy jerseys. Can we get an Yvonne jersey care video? That is actually part of the plan. I don't know, either this week, maybe next week. I've got a pile of jerseys that need fixed. One of the things that I did do when we were in New York and we were meeting with all of the jersey people, I talked to one of the hockey jersey fanatics guys. I talked to him for quite a while, and I talked to him about jersey care, and he totally agreed with me. So
yeah,
that was fun. But that is in the works. Yep. I've got a pile ready. I was getting my I have a sewing area. I was getting my sewing area ready right before our trip. So I will be doing that. Probably next week, though. I'm kind of busy with kiddos this week. But yeah. Love the Vegas shirt. Well, thank you. I like this one too. Vegas has fun stuff.
They do.
They do. I like this shirt because it's different. They have really fun hoodies. They actually make fun women's clothing, which a lot of the teams do not. They really make for men, and they don't make fun things for women to wear. But Vegas does really well with that.
Yep.
320 days until the Leafs win the cup. Well, dream big.
Sometimes people mix up days and years. It's so weird how that works.
Oh, what's the ugliest jersey you own? Be honest. Maybe top 3.
So there's the Nashville.
Right there. I see the ugliest jersey right there. Look at how ugly this thing is. And look at it. Oh, look at that. Terrible. That color is just hideous. Awful. No, that's the worst. Oh. Burger King jersey, which when Shannon got this jersey, he was so excited. This one made him so happy. I remember that. He was so excited to get this one. Oh, which one? Oh, I know which one you're finding. Oh, the barber pole one. That one's blinding. That is a blinding jersey.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you made him change his mind. I knew what he was going to grab. He's changed his mind.
I can find it.
Oh, we had that one out the other day.
What went out?
Like last week. You had the barber pole one out like a week ago.
Not long
Was
ago,
it? Yeah. Blinding. See, that's on a different rack, so it makes it trickier.
And these ones aren't really
So this is
organized
his main racks. You've got all of the teams in alphabetical order for the main jerseys. But then on this side of the room, we've got more racks along this whole wall.
International, AHL, ECHL.
And some of the fashion jerseys as well. This hanger's. You
breaking the hanger?
I'm not breaking it, but it's wobbly. He's still looking. Okay, well, while he's looking, video of players turned media, Boyle, Callahan, etc.
Most of them most of the guys like in the media are former players. That happens a lot. That's pretty standard. It's one of the reasons why I never really worried about getting a job in the media, because that's basically used by former players.
King's jersey is amazing. Preds looks like Dijon mustard, LOL. That is kind of the color. It's an awful color.
I don't know where
that King's jersey is shameful. Is it not on this shelf? I thought it was on here. On this. I thought
it's not in there because it's not a jersey, it's a sweater. Right. So we'll use that one. That works.
Motorist. Though I like this jersey. I think it's fun. I have one of these too.
That's an authentic motorist.
Yeah. That's fun. Do you have any OHL jerseys?
Yep. I have Sioux Greyhounds.
You know you're gonna find that jersey right as soon as we're done with this video. Huh? You'll find that jersey as soon as we're done doing the live stream. Yeah. It's usually how it works.
Yeah. Because I know all the sweaters are in there.
I just had it out too.
All the sweaters are in there. When I do my top 10 favorite Montreal jerseys, that'll probably end up in the list anyways.
Burger King jersey is next level embarrassing. Yeah. A King's jersey was shameful.
See, I don't mind the King. I don't mind the King on that front. I think if you just had that King right in the middle, I think you could do nice stripes around it.
It looks silly.
Well, it's supposed to look like a sash. It's very royal.
Yeah, it looks silly. I'm not sure if Shannon has this one. He does. Detroit's 2022 reverse retro is pretty
I have all the reverse
bad.
retros. Reverse retro 1.0 and 2.0. And yeah, Detroit in both reverse retros missed the mark, which is weird because Detroit has so many fun old designs they could have done.
Motorist falls into so bad it's good territory.
It gets there. It took a while, but it definitely gets there.
How many all-star jerseys do you have? And are you planning on doing a top 10?
All-star jerseys are tough because they're all basically very similar designs to one another.
They are.
And so, like, I've got a bunch of the parlay ones, but
really the same.
It's hard to really differentiate which ones I like more than others. I did include them in last year's rankings when I did the jersey rankings.
Oh, how come purple never shows up correctly on your videos? Is that some kind of weird video thing? I don't know much about that.
It's a camera thing.
Yes. If you ever tried to take pictures of purple is very, very hard to photograph and to video. That is just how cameras work now.
Great sadness for me.
Ottawa and Montreal need a barber pole Heritage Classic. Make you dizzy watching
the Ottawa one would be a
blinding.
Because the original Ottawa ones back in the 1920s, they were a lot.
Blinding.
Yeah.
Make you dizzy.
But I mean, the Seattle Metropolitans had that one too.
Yeah.
I don't know where that sweater went.
Oh, you have that one too. I think that one's but with my jerseys, yeah.
Yeah.
Because isn't that one really large? It's like an extra large or something.
Nope. No? You're thinking of the Americans one.
Oh, that one's huge.
New York Americans is XXX. Yeah,
that one's huge.
That one's a sweater too.
2022 Montreal Canadiens reverse retro is my favorite Canadiens jersey. No, I'm totally not biased because I'm an Expos fan.
Yeah, and I like that jersey a lot too, but Montreal didn't play well wearing either of the reverse retros, so people didn't like them. And there's the argument of, well, you can't have a blue Montreal jersey, which is crazy. Of course you can.
hometown remix that you're looking forward to this year?
Boston. I really want to see what Boston did. We got no indication of any of it. We got nothing. The one thing that I was told was that some of the leaks that are out there may not be accurate. That's what I was told.
What are the most entertaining NHL games you've ever watched?
Man, most entertaining games I've ever watched. Game 7 in 94 between Calgary and Vancouver, because I did not expect Vancouver to win that series over Calgary at all. In fact, games 5, 6, and 7, because they were all overtime wins for Vancouver. It was just absolutely amazing. And then during that same run in 94, game 6 in Vancouver, I had expected the Rangers to close out the series, and they didn't. So what I did was I actually recorded games 5 and 6 on VHS tapes I had, and I just titled it The Miracle. And then game 6 was The Miracle Part 2. And then I really wanted to have a Miracle Part 3, but stupid Rangers. So
Did you guys get to see any of the hometown remix jerseys at Fanatic Fest? And hope you
Nope.
guys enjoyed New York City.
It was a missed opportunity, and there were
Yep.
people from Fanatics who agreed with us that it was a
Yep.
missed opportunity. It was a very small NHL section they had.
Sadly,
Hard to
small.
find as well,
It was
based on where you were in the room.
ridiculously small.
And I think that was a mistake. They could have at least had some sort of hints, something to build up interest, and instead they just had all of the
Current
authentic pro
jerseys, yeah.
jerseys on like mannequins when you're going into the NHL section,
That
which
was
looked
it.
nice, but it just there wasn't really anything with the NHL display that I thought this is great.
No.
It was just sort of
We have told them.
and I think they knew that.
Yep.
Like the question was asked of why wasn't the Stanley Cup there? And and of course the answer was that the Stanley Cup is with the players because it's the summer. But I pointed out there are replicas of the Stanley Cup. They could have had one of the replicas. You know, when it gets dented, they have another one to give them. So I think you could have had a replica Stanley Cup that could have worked just as well. Hopefully we find out about the hometown remixes soon. But from what I've heard, I don't think we're going to get any kind of preview. They're just going to show up.
Nope. So we talked to the really high up guy that is responsible for the Fanatics jerseys. And we did talk to him about the remix jerseys. And we told him how we were really hoping we'd get to see a sneak peek or something. And he basically said that as of right now, the amount of people that have seen those hometown remix jerseys, most have not. Most teams have not even seen their jersey. They've maybe seen a drawn picture of the idea
Mock-up.
of it.
Mock-up.
Yes. But there are very, 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 very few people that have seen it. So all these people saying their guesses for it, they are just guesses. He was saying that the people that have seen it, they weren't even allowed to take phones into the room. They're being very, very, very hush-hush about it. He also talked about which jersey was it that he was talking about where they released the pictures online, but they were crappy pictures and not very good. And
well,
so people
and I mentioned that the Florida one looked
bad.
pink. I mentioned the Florida one looked pink, and he said there's no pink ones. He told me, he said to his knowledge, there's nothing pink in the hometown remix. So, and I don't have any reason to think that the leak that was out there was anything other than what people think they're getting.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
that's what I was told.
But he was talking about, I forget which jerseys it was, that they released these little sneak peek pictures, and I can remember what he's talking about, but I don't remember which jerseys they were now. But people were already being very negative about the jerseys before we could actually see them. And he really thought that it was because of the quality of the photos, and they hadn't taken these really nice professional pictures that were really showcasing them. And he didn't want a repeat of that because he thought that really impacted the sales. So they're trying to do the release of these hometown remix jerseys different than they've done before. Though we let him know that it was really disappointing that we didn't get to see them. So
yep,
we might get to see them a little early, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay. Do they even exist? Yes.
Oh, they absolutely exist.
They do exist. They're just keeping it very, very hush hush. Top 5 favorite Stars and Bruins playoff moments.
Stars, I'd have to go back to Minnesota, the 81 Stanley Cup final run. Various moments there. And then 91, the run there, and just every upset they got all the way along. I was very excited about. In Dallas, obviously, when they won in 99, and I know a lot of people were mad about it, but I thought it was great when they won in 99. The bar that I was in, I was DJing at, wearing my Dallas jersey, and I was the only one celebrating when they won the cup. Everybody else was ticked off. And then for Dallas, they knocked out Colorado a couple years ago. I was very excited about that. And the Stanley Cup final run in 2020, where they got all the way to the final, and just Hudobin, the run he had there was great. Now for Boston, Boston, the 2013 comeback against Toronto was something I didn't see coming, and it was just ridiculous. The knockout of the Pittsburgh Penguins in 2013 in the conference final, I was very, very, very happy about that because I have a long memory, and I remember Pittsburgh humiliating Boston in a couple of conference finals, so I thought it was nice to see Boston returning the favor. And then with the Bruins, it's hard to name a top 5, but anytime they play Montreal and knock out Montreal, that was a highlight for me. And when they lost against Montreal, it was tough, but man, some of those series were the best I've watched as a Bruins fan. So yeah, there you go.
Yes, every team is getting a hometown remix jersey.
Yep.
Everybody will have one.
Yep.
Do you think there will be any more major trades between now and the start of the season?
I would say there'll probably be, I would say at least one before we get to the start of the season, just with how many unresolved storylines are out there from Hellebuck to Larkin, et cetera, et cetera. I would say we'll see at least one. But I don't think there's going to be a ton. We're already into that quiet part of the off season. So a lot of the unrestricted free agents that are out there, they're probably going to end up getting tryouts and have to earn a contract on a tryout, which for some of them I think is kind of crazy, but usually it's a matter of age and just room on the roster.
How do you feel about Vegas? I'm sort of scared because of losing some really nice bottom 6 pieces.
Vegas is still going to be a contender. Vegas is still going to be one of the top teams in the Pacific because Vegas does not accept mediocrity. So if they get off to a slow start, Kelly McCrimmon will be very aggressive in trying to fix what's wrong with the team. And so my guess is that we'll see Vegas still being a very good team this coming season and probably for a while yet.
Do you buy all your jerseys from NHL Shop or the specific team store?
Most of the jerseys I get, the Fanatics ones, I get through Ben, who there's an email link in the description to all my videos. We've had a working relationship with one another for 9 years now. So nice long time that Ben and I have been dealing with each other. And that's where I get a majority of them. I do get them from NHL Shop if they're on sale. I get them from NHL Shop if I can't find them anywhere else. And I also go through Cool Hockey. Cool Hockey has like some of the discontinued thirds. They're having a 40% off a sale on right now. So like if you want a Dallas Rave jersey, they have that for 40% off. The Chicago Centennial jersey, 40% off. And yeah, where else do I get jerseys from? Sometimes from the team stores, not usually that often.
Fanatics
AHL
sends
jerseys
too.
Yeah, Fanatics sends us jerseys. The AHL jerseys, I go through the AHL store or through team stores. Like the Belleville Senators team store, I've gone through a couple of times. So, and the like Calgary, the Wranglers, I've got jerseys through the Calgary team store. I would say the best of the team stores for Canadian hockey teams Montreal's is pretty nice. But Calgary and Edmonton both have very robust, excellent online stores and products that Vancouver you'd think would have more than they do, but they don't.
They don't.
And Toronto, I was surprised that Toronto didn't have a better store as well.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, Calgary has fun stuff. What is the best World Cup that you have ever watched?
The 2010 World Cup was very good. I have good memories of the 1990 World Cup because that was the first one that I watched. And I really just dove into all the history of it and became a huge fan of, like, Cameroon was who I was rooting for in that World Cup, because nobody expected them to be good, and they were pretty darn good in that one. Yeah, those would probably be my favorites. This year's was special because Canada hosted, so that definitely makes it more special. And it was nice to have the games in our time zone, so it's easy enough for me to watch. But yeah,
Montreal fan here. Win or lose, give me Habs versus Bruins every year in the playoffs. The hockey, the fans, it's the best hockey.
yeah, that is some of the best hockey that I've watched is Montreal Boston, because the teams really hate each other, and the fan bases seem to hate each other as well. So it just makes for a very entertaining series.
What do you think of the Montreal Impact considering moving to the Olympic Stadium?
I'm surprised anybody would move to the Olympic Stadium, to be honest. I remember the Big O as being one of the reasons why the Expos left. It's a serviceable stadium. Um, I remember them talking about doing some kind of retrofit to it before the Expos left. I don't know if they've done that between then and now. I would imagine they've done a lot of upkeep on it between then and now. I mean, if it works, that's what matters.
Habs should host some exhibition games in the Big O. Is it hot in our area? No.
Not today.
Let's see.
Not today.
Oh, it's got up to 20 degrees now.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't think it's supposed to get any higher than that.
It's supposed to get cooler.
It's supposed to be cooler tomorrow, and then it's supposed to start heating up again. But like next weekend it's like 23. Next Friday's 27. So it's not going to be hot.
27 is hot.
So, nah. Anything under 32, I don't consider it to be that hot. Got to be 32 before I'm like uncomfortable.
No, 30s. Once it's 30, that's too hot.
No, I'm good. I used to play soccer in 30,
Nah.
31, 32.
Pass. Do you have any soccer jerseys?
I have a bunch, and I also, because the World Cup's over now, Adidas has started putting the World Cup jerseys from this year on sale. So I've got the goaltending jersey for Mexico. I ordered that, and I ordered Scotland, because Scotland, even though they were miserably bad in this World Cup, those are my people, and so I feel like I need a Scotland jersey. England, oddly enough, not on sale, so I don't have one for England at this point. But I have various countries, and I intend to widen that collection a little bit because I do like covering soccer.
Oh, somebody's asking where has 40% off?
Cool Hockey on discontinued third jerseys. It's not actually on their homepage. They don't actually have it there. They don't mention it, but the third jerseys for the Devils, for the Rangers, and these are the ones that are discontinued. Dallas, Chicago's Centennial. They didn't have the Rangers Centennial. Oh, the Blues Winter Classic one is on sale too. So there's various ones on there that are 40% off. So yeah, it's Cool Hockey, and I have no affiliation with them, nothing like that. All these sites get free advertising with me. I didn't even do ad reads.
Oh, Germany, 40 degrees next week. That's terrible. Ugh. Okay. Do you listen to KMFDM or Fodderhead, German Electro Industrial?
I have listened to KMFDM.
I listened to Fodderhead.
Do you?
Yeah.
I like Megahertz, Oomph, Icebreaker, who I understand Icebreaker isn't really metal, but it's very German. And of course the big guys, the Rammstein, which is one of my favorite. But it's depending on my day, either Rammstein's my favorite band or The Warning's my favorite band. Depends on my day.
Who gets the captaincy in Chicago this year?
For this year, I don't know if Bedard's necessarily 100% ready. I think you could ask Kane. Now that Kane's back, and he's back for 2 years. Patrick Kane could take over the captaincy for those 2 years and then hand it off to Bedard when he's done.
Who do you think the New York Islanders will pick for their captain?
I'd like to see Horvat as captain. Schaefer's already said he doesn't want it. Schaefer has no interest in being captain at this point.
Oh, I have raspberry tea from David's Tea today. It's really good.
So it's boring.
No, it's good.
Boring regular old tea.
I don't frequently drink herbal tea, but I like herbal tea iced. And I don't like any fruit teas hot, but iced. They're great.
I don't think the fruit teas are made to be drank hot anyways.
There are people that drink fruit tea hot.
Really?
Yeah.
I
I just don't like them hot. I like black tea.
see, if
Or
I had
rooibos.
hot, I think of like Neocitrin. Just it would feel very medicine-y. I don't know. That's just me.
Oh, would you ever consider doing any live stream watch-alongs either with or without game footage? No.
Not according to copyrights.
We like to keep our channel.
Yeah. Copyrights are one of those tricky things, and I try to stay away from it as much as possible. So, and then the other problem is that if I'm watching hockey games, I'm taking notes. It's not a very entertaining broadcast if I'm just writing notes on the board and trying to keep up with what's going on and then try to keep up with the chat. It just doesn't really work.
We've done live streams on the patron and members live streams during games.
Yes.
When there's just like,
But that's a very chill, small group.
then we get like 10, 12 people.
Very chill, small
we don't
group.
Have to worry
and
so much
I don't have to worry about the
copyright.
chat. And we still don't show the game on the screen.
With the copyright, so we have to be careful even what people hear.
Yeah.
So that's where we have to.
It can get the audio and flag it from the audio. So yeah, we have to be careful with that.
Where are all of the cats? Shadow's right here. Okay, see him? Oh no, just can't see him. He's right here
Shadow's
in the puddle.
down here. Azrael's in the tree over here.
Maple's right there.
Yeah.
Where's Bear go? Pixel was Bear's on
Maple.
the chair right there.
What are you doing?
I'm not doing anything.
What are you doing, sweetie?
Bear's laying on a chair right there.
Shadow.
Where did Pixel go? She was right over. They were all in here a moment ago. I'm sure Pixel's somewhere because I didn't see her leave. We have a lot of cats in here. Everybody's in here. It's a good thing we have a bigger house so they can all spread out.
Yeah, Bear's on her chair. Maple's now rubbing up against me because I
sweetie.
caught her doing something.
Hi, sweetie.
What are you doing?
You want to say hi? Here's my Maple. It's like, why did you pick me up? I was busy.
Yep, she did not want to be picked up.
I was checking things out. Everybody else is asleep,
Can I
so
pick you
I'm
up?
doing stuff.
Hi. Can I say hi? Hi, sweetie.
They're just like, why? Why
Hi,
are you
sweetie.
doing that?
Sweet kitty. You want to say hi?
Have you ever had heat stroke? You spoke of playing soccer in really hot weather.
I had to be close multiple times. I did. I can get pretty reckless when I'm running around in the summer. I guarantee I've been pretty darn close to heat stroke multiple times. There's been times where we have meetups and I'm kind of shaking a bit and I'm kind of like, okay, I need to rest and have something to drink and be careful and stay out of the sun.
What is your opinion on Rush? Yeah.
Rush, good Canadian band. I never really saw them as metal. I know a lot of the people listen to are metalheads. And I had a couple songs I was okay with, but I was never really a fan. I've never really been a fan of Rush.
Love the team ranking video today, Shannon. I
Thank
think you should do a top 10 favorite current teams where you talk a bit more about why you like them. Man, I could see that not going well.
No, but I can figure it out.
Hair in my mouth.
I can figure it out. Easy enough.
How's the weather? Is it super hot? Nope.
Not anymore. We had a hot week, and now it's really, really cooled down nicely.
Is it decal or how do they
mean
pronounce
decal
it?
or decal? I say decal.
Decal, decal.
I say decals. They're decals.
Decal sounds weird. Hip are the best Canadian band ever.
They're the most Canadian band ever. They're very Canadian.
They're very Canadian, yeah. Not bad, but I think we've got a lot of good bands.
See, her vote would be probably 3 Days Grace.
Yes. 3 Days Grace would be my
And I've
favorite
seen 3 Days
Canadian
Grace
band.
in concert 3 times or 4 times. You've
They're
seen them more
great.
than that.
I have.
And so,
Fantastic.
yeah, their concerts have always been amazing.
We've got there's
They
a lot
should
of
not
good
have opened up for
Canadians.
Volbeat. I will
That
continually
was
say
so
that.
annoying.
I will say that for the rest of my life, that Volbeat headlining with 3 Days Grace opening for them was a bad call, because most of the crowd left during Volbeat
Which
because
is
they were
weird.
there for 3 Days
Volbeat's
Grace.
fun.
Volbeat's, yeah, but I didn't stay for all of Volbeat either.
They're fun though. I like Volbeat.
A few of their songs I like, but
What's for dinner later? I don't know. We only have one kid home.
I haven't decided.
So probably not really making anything. I made a cucumber, tomato, avocado salad the other day, and there's still some of that. And we got some hammy melon and berries. So there we go. We only have one kid at home right now, so
That's true.
I'm not doing much cooking.
That's true.
Well, and
She's
I need
taking
to
a
make some
much
banana bread.
She's taking a much needed.
I
don't want to say break, but
it's
a little
not
bit.
a break, but I don't have to do
tiny,
quite as
tiny
much
bit,
when
yeah.
there's less children.
Yeah.
So, hey, Shannon Yvonne, will you ever get another cat? And if so, call it Princess Donut. Because I think you'd love Dungeon Crawler Carl book series.
That's the book series that I was showing you.
Okay. I would never name a cat Princess Donut. No.
So,
I am sure.
But that's that book series you're referencing.
Yeah,
I actually was looking at
yesterday.
that at Kohl's yesterday.
Yeah.
And then realized there's 8 books in the series, so I'm just going to get the audio version and I can listen to it while I'm doing the treadmill.
Yep.
So,
I am sure one day we will get more cats because
time is undefeated.
Yeah, cats don't live as long as we do.
Yeah.
And we've got some middle-aged older cats. So I'm sure one day we will get more cats, but not name it Princess Donut.
Depending. Because if anything ever happens to Bear, and I will spend every cent, every drop of blood I have to try to prevent it, she knows I'll need another emotional support animal.
I know. I am definitely worried about that day.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite goalie mask, and what books do you read or recommend that are hockey related to buy, learn more? Have you read Cujo or Solane's book? We have so many hockey books.
I have the Cujo one.
We have so many hockey books in this house.
Here, I will.
We have bookshelves of hockey books. We have 3 bookshelves full of hockey, like
I meant
big
to prop
bookshelves.
this one up. I meant to prop this one up
Oh,
in the
yeah.
video when I got home from New York. But this one here, Fabric of the Game, by Chris Creamer and Todd Radom. And yeah, Chris Creamer, great guy.
Yep.
And this book is absolutely fantastic. Chris, I hope you don't mind that I'm going to actually show a little bit. So it gets into all of the jerseys, all the looks. It gets into like here's Pittsburgh, all the logos that the Penguins have had along the way, all the various changes. And then inside the look at that. That's just absolutely fantastic. So I got this as soon as it came out, and honestly, I've gone through this book a few times. But if you want to get into the history, like this here, 76 to 82, the Colorado Rockies, and it gets into the tie-ins to Avalanche, Rockies, and all that. It's great. I really, really enjoy this. So, and some of the pictures are top notch right there. So Columbus fans may know that pose well. Are we in the playoffs? No. So yeah. Anyways. Yeah, that's a recommended book right there. I also have The Game by Ken Dryden.
Oh, those books, what are the book series called that they don't even have them for every single team? The things you must know about your team.
100 things
those
every
are
fan
good.
should know. And I wanted to have one for every team. They
don't
never
make 'em.
released them for every single team, and they've stopped making them. So if you can find those, eBay's a good place to find those ones, and they're great. I found out stuff about the Canucks I did not know from reading through it. It gives you all the historical stuff. And they're highly entertaining.
Yeah, those are good books.
Yep.
What do you think the number will be for Cooch?
I would say 15. I would say 15 million as a cap hit for Kucherov on his next contract, which is less than he would probably get elsewhere.
Do you set a yearly budget for jerseys? Have you ever gone over the year budget?
I don't do it on a year-to-year basis. I do it on a month-to-month basis, and I do save money. So, like, for instance, We have the remix coming up. What I did before we had the reverse retros was I was saving up. So I was not buying jerseys until those came out. And it's just a matter of, making sure. The rules generally, kids, you pay your rent or your mortgage first. You pay all your bills. You get your food. And then you look at what you got left over. And so I still, to this day, do that. And that's what decides whether or not I get jerseys. That's why I still don't have the New Jersey Devils stadium, because the price for that is it's available, but $400+ is a no, and I'm not paying $60 for a fake. So that's where I'm at with that one. So like when I talk about the Canucks and not going to Vancouver games, it's not that I can't afford to go. It's that it's not worth the amount of money and the time to go to Vancouver games anymore. It's very, very pricey. It's very time consuming.
Very time consuming.
And it's not fun watching them lose. And it's a miserable experience in most cases at Vancouver. And then the fact that ticket prices are so much higher than they were when they were better. I'm bewildered. So yeah. Really, I have to budget from one day to the next on everything. So like when Canucks season game tickets became available, I didn't even look this year. I'm like, I'm not even looking. I don't care. I'm not going. So we have Abbotsford tickets. Go to Abbotsford games.
And you have to remember with the jerseys, we don't have to pay full price for most jerseys. So that does help as well.
Yep. I very rarely pay. Now, with the reverse retros, there were a few of those that end up being pricey.
Yeah, but not very many.
That Tampa one took months to get here.
Yeah.
That one, I was following that one around North America.
And then we had to pay duty on it.
Yeah.
That was so irritating.
Duty was like $100 on top of it.
So stupid.
So that jersey cost me about, with everything in considered, at least $350. I was like, that's
like
just
the most
insane.
Expensive jersey in this room.
Yeah. So that gives you an idea that $350 is the most expensive jersey I have. I do not collect the pros. I don't see the need to have the pros in my personal collection because I don't wear the equipment and skate around and play hockey. The pros are more designed for that on ice, actual game playing experience. So that definitely keeps the costs down, that I just get the premium ones.
Who would have a better chance of living in New York full time between you two? And what was your most disliked opinion of the city?
Man, to live in New York, I think it'd be easier for me.
I would not enjoy that at all.
I think it'd be easier for me.
I really like outside. I love living here.
Most disliked part of the city, it's very crowded.
So many people. And everything is dirty.
There's definitely
so dirty.
There's definitely a layer of dust that we had at the end of any given day.
Garbage.
Yeah, you guys need more garbage cans in New York.
Cans?
Needs to be more garbage cans in New York.
I don't understand why there's not garbage cans. Yeah. You trip on garbage cans and bottles. Why are those on the ground? That's so weird.
Those are money.
Can't you return those for money? You never see cans and bottles on the ground here, ever.
Nope.
It is rare that you see litter on the ground, but cans and bottles, no chance.
Nope.
And there was garbage everywhere.
Every time, every can, every bottle I have just goes right in a bag, and then Adelaide takes them all in, and she gets the money for it.
I'll do it.
And so she's always excited to get the money for it. So yeah, they're money.
Yeah, there was way too many people. Way too many people. And it was way too dirty, and there wasn't enough trees.
But when the question's asked of which one of us could live a certain place, usually I'll be the one to say, yeah, I could do that. If I had to, I could.
Yeah. Non-hockey question. How do you guys like the new car? It's great.
The new car is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Nice. I really like my car.
So much better than a van.
I really not driving a minivan. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's just so much better. And now she has random people just walk up to her and talk to her about her car.
It's weird.
So never had that with a minivan.
No, I do really like the new car. It's really nice. My car is all smart. It's great.
Yep.
It's really comfortable.
So we got the all-wheel drive We got the top end, all the safety stuff, because for the extra money, it was worth it for us. We're like, yeah, that it's more money, yes, but getting all the safety stuff with it is important. The 360 camera,
So nice.
I feel a lot more comfortable in that car than I ever did in the van. So because it's got all the warnings and all the systems, it's great.
It's nice. I like it.
Yeah,
it's really nice.
and it's a beautiful color.
It is a pretty color. Thoughts on Knight's goal scoring without Doro?
There's going to be more struggles. My guess is that they're hoping that other guys on the team will pick it up, and or that they'll be able to keep goals against down enough that that loss of goals for will be okay.
Yeah, so much better than a van. Sure. I have driven a minivan for, let's see,
20
I
years?
got it when Gabriel was 2
So
and
almost 20
he's
years.
now 19. So that's how long I've been driving a minivan. So it's really nice job not driving a minivan.
Will the Golden Knights get back to the Cup, and will Marner ever get one? I would not be surprised to see Vegas get back to the Stanley Cup. I do think Mitch Marner at some point probably ends up winning himself a Stanley Cup. I thought he played really, really well through the first 3 rounds. The Stanley Cup final is very difficult hockey, and he's learned a lesson from that final against Carolina. We'll see how he uses what he's learned this coming season.
How do you tell a fake on Facebook Marketplace?
It's difficult, but you have to get them to show you the fight strap, the lettering, the numbering, and don't be afraid to double check it against official sources.
To me, the absolute easiest way to tell on any site, whether it's eBay or Marketplace, message seller, ask them to take a picture of the inside of the jersey on the back side of the logo, the front crest. Because if it is a fake, they are embroidered directly to the jersey. And a lot of times there will be the interfacing. If there's just the outline stitching, that is fine. If a jersey is actually stitched on instead of being heat pressed, it's going to have that outline stitch.
So,
but the fakes are totally embroidered directly on the jersey. I've never seen any that aren't.
this one here is embroidered straight on because it's made by, I think, K1. It's K1 or 430. So this one is not like CCM or anything like that.
I can't even see it.
So this one here I got through Royal Retros. Royal Retros makes ones that I can't get anywhere else. So this is the early 80s Minnesota North Stars. But yeah, it's embroidered straight on. So I can tell you that it is not made by CCM or anything like that, because it is embroidered straight onto the jersey. So that is one way to look at it. And I can't find. I'm not going to be able to find this. And also, this does have the bad fight strap in it. I don't know why they put the bad fight strap, but it's got the bad fight strap in it.
It's obnoxious.
So that is one thing to look for, to ask them about.
Some people have troubles knowing the fake fight strap.
And I would have this in a CCM. I would have this in a CCM if it existed. I looked for 10 years and never once saw the early 80s Minnesota in white in an actual CCM. So I went to Royal Retros with it.
Never leave the Lower Mainland. I did against my will, and I will never get over it. I moved away from the Lower Mainland for a little bit. For 3 years, I hated it so much. I hated it so much. I was so unhappy.
Talk about Idaho like that.
No, I've grown up near the ocean, near the mountains.
Boise.
God, I can't imagine living near Boise. That would be terrible.
And you did.
No, I've never. Seeing people believe you.
Go
But
potatoes.
I hated it so much that back when I was married to my ex-husband, I hated it so much. He thought I was going to leave him because I was so unhappy.
She was a cheerleader for the Spuds.
I was not a cheerleader. I was in a wheelchair in
her high school.
So
her high school Spuds team. She was one of the cheerleaders.
In high school, I was in a wheelchair.
I didn't say she was a good cheerleader. Just she was a cheerleader. I tell you though, if you ever seen images of her at the top of the pyramid on the wheelchair, that's something. That's something that they got her to the top of the pyramid in that wheelchair. the Spuds won the national tournament that year.
Oh, Lower Mainland. Okay, the Lower Mainland in BC. So it's not the islands. You can't, like in the States, they call it the Northwest. It's obviously not the Northwest here, but it's also not the Southwest because that would be the islands. So the mainland is on the continent, not the islands. Lower Mainland, we're lower near
Lower
the
Mainland
border.
is from
So it's
Vancouver to
generally
Chilliwack.
south of the mountains,
Vancouver to Chilliwack.
north of the border. Yeah, that's the Lower Mainland.
I wouldn't qualify Hope as Lower Mainland because it's higher
They're in the
up.
mountains.
Yeah.
But that's the Lower Mainland. We live in the Lower Mainland.
Hope is the
We do
gateway to
not
the
live
rest
in the
of British
Vancouver
Columbia.
Metro. We're further out
Yep.
of Vancouver than
Yep.
being in the Vancouver Metro.
We
But
may move at
There
some
you
point,
go.
but
There's some BC geography for you.
yep.
Haven't seen a mountain in over 20 years.
That'd drive me crazy.
Oh, man.
The first thing that I said when we got off
Oh.
the plane in Vancouver and we came out of the airport, it was nice to be able to see like the horizon again. It was nice to be able to see like a long distance wherever we look, because in New York it's just buildings, and more buildings.
Yeah.
And so it was nice to have that, be able to see all the way to horizon. So although we did when we went up the Empire State Building,
Yeah.
could see quite a distance and I'm so glad we did that.
Yes.
So if you're going to New York, it's a bit pricey to go up to the Empire
There's
State
other,
Building, but
other
it's
buildings
fun. It's
that you
great.
can go up in, though.
Yeah, I think the Chrysler
So,
Building, they have something too
Yeah.
along that line.
Question for both of you. You have only one NHL arena to visit that you haven't been to before. Which is it?
I go to Boston.
I knew you'd pick Boston.
Yep.
I would love to go to a game in Winnipeg. I think that'd be awesome.
Although Montreal and Toronto,
Oh,
that'd be
would
amazing
really
to go to
fun
a game
too.
in
Yeah,
Montreal or
that'd
Toronto.
be fun too.
Yeah. But I think we'd have to sell our car to go to a game in Toronto.
Probably.
I think we'd have to do that. So that's not going to happen.
What was it like growing up in Coeur d'Alene? No.
See, but you know how
No.
to say it.
I do know how to say Coeur d'Alene because they're not family, but what?
What?
Pardon me?
Huh?
What are you saying,
Nothing.
Shannon?
Are you hearing things again? What the doctor tell you about that?
I have not family that live in Coeur d'Alene. So there you go. I know people that live in Coeur d'Alene. How's
Because
that?
she lived with them for a while.
I did not, but thank you.
Yeah.
Early predictions: Avs versus Habs 2027.
I haven't done the early prediction video. I usually wait till September for that. So we'll see. I do like predicting who I think is going to win the Stanley Cup. And now I got pressure because I got both teams right this year. So that doesn't generally happen. So I got it right. And so I need to really, really try hard to see the future again. So
I'm not the only person that wants to go to Winnipeg.
no, I wouldn't mind going to Winnipeg.
I think it'd be awesome. And
I haven't been bit by giant bugs in a long time. So sure. Go to Winnipeg.
Right? I know people out there. I'm not the only one.
Can you ride the
Whatever.
bugs in Winnipeg or?
Yes.
Because I've heard that the bugs
Might
are
need
huge.
two.
I had
With
a
the truck.
teacher who had moved out from Winnipeg, and all he talked about was how he used to call it Winnipuke because
Oh, yeah.
the fog was brown. It's like the fog shouldn't be brown. And then he talked about how giant all the bugs were, and
That is
how you
one
just
thing
stayed
here.
in the
We really
house.
don't have bugs.
not like that. No,
No, compared to most of Canada.
I would
We
say
don't
most
have bugs. Even-
most of North America.
Yeah, even northern BC, awful bugs. Awful bugs. Black flies are the worst. I hate black flies. We don't have them here. It's great.
I found bug bites since I
I
got home
hate
from New
black
York
flies.
too. I don't know what bit me. I don't understand how. I didn't see any cockroaches, so my guess is that they came out in our hotel room while we were sleeping, and they feasted upon me, and then they disappeared by morning. That's my thought, because she doesn't have any bug bites, but I do.
And I usually am the one bitten, and you're
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. So I don't know what happened there.
What famous landmark would you like to see in person that has a hockey team? Example, Gateway Arch. I worked there.
192 meters in the air.
CN Tower.
When do you think Yager will hang up the skates? Oh, CN Tower. That'd be great. Yes.
Didn't Yager hung him up this year, didn't he? I don't think he played this past season, right? I know if he hasn't, I know he was talking about it. I think Yager's done. I think Yager's done. So he'll get in the Hall of Fame as long as he remains off the ice, which I wouldn't guarantee that he will. But at some point, your body says, yeah, that's enough of that.
Yeah, I've been to Winnipeg, and I'd go again. Nice arena, Winnipeg. Whiteout is awesome. See, that's why I think it would be fun. It looks like there's just a really fun atmosphere, and I have a good friend that lives really close. So, yes.
And then you love the team, so that helps.
Right? And that would just be fun.
Yeah.
Yvonne, if the Jets and Wild would play next season in the NHL Western Conference Finals, what team would you go for and why? Oh, that I'm just like, yay, everybody play good.
Be like if Dallas and Boston met in
Yeah.
the final, I'd be so happy. I wouldn't care who won. I'd be so happy.
You just kind of enjoy it. Honestly, when they do make it far, or even towards the end of the season, and they'll play a game together, I usually root for the team that I think will have more success if they make it further.
That's the same argument I had about teams I root for.
Yeah. So
who needs the win?
Right.
Who's playing better?
Who's gonna do better? If they win and they make it, will they do better in the next round? Or
100%.
if they win and they make it to the playoffs, or which one's going to have more success?
I agree.
Then that's the one I cheer for. But it's not like I'm upset if anybody wins or anybody scores. It's just a really fun game to watch. That's the best game.
And you can back me up on this. Was I upset when Minnesota knocked out Dallas?
No.
Was I happy when Minnesota knocked out Dallas?
Yes, he was.
Because I did not want Dallas to play against Colorado.
That's true.
I knew Colorado would kill them. I was like, somebody else can take care of Colorado. I don't want it to be Dallas. So there you go. Because I've seen that. Oh, he's salty about Minnesota because they beat. No. Dallas was not beating Colorado, and I didn't want to have to deal with that all summer. So
True.
Minnesota fans don't gloat. That's my experience. Colorado fans can.
Some teams,
Colorado fans can, and I get it. I totally get it. I'm not saying like I know Canuck fans can gloat a lot when they haven't won anything. Like I've had that discussion with Canuck fans before. Like, yeah, we're kind of the best because I'm like, wait, no, we're not. At no point in time have the Canucks won a Stanley Cup. So stop talking about them being the best. Please stop it. You're making the rest of Canuck fandom look bad. So, but yeah, I knew I would have heard a lot of chatter if Colorado had destroyed Dallas like that. So Minnesota beat them instead. Cool.
So glad Bear is doing well.
I am too. She's a sweet little cat. She's timid.
Doing better than she was.
Yeah.
We didn't realize what was making her lose weight. We thought it was because she was really picky, and she's
getting older.
Definitely very picky.
She's getting older.
But she is already better than she was in the first place. She's gained some weight back already. So I think she's going to get a lot healthier with her new diet.
Yep.
As big of a pain as it is.
So, yeah. But anyways, we should get going. It's been over 2 hours.
I know, this is a long
we got
time.
other things to do. Who's a better hockey player, Quinn Hughes or Lane Hudson? Don't lie. It's Quinn Hughes. Quinn Hughes is one of the best defensemen in the NHL. Hudson's underrated by some, but I would still put Hughes ahead. Anyways, thanks, guys, for coming out. We will do this again soon enough. We'll figure out when to do a patrons and members live stream as well over the next couple of days, probably. So stay tuned for that for members and patrons. But that being said, we're done for now. I have 2 more THG at 10 years where I'm going to be talking about teams videos to do today, and then I'll do a jersey video as well. It's the Canucks in Montreal that are up today. So if anybody's wondering which videos I'm doing next, it will be the Canucks, and then it'll be the Montreal Canadiens. So thank you guys so much for watching. I don't have to ask you to hit like or subscribe. I think there's a lot of subscribers watching right now. But if you haven't, please do. All right. We'll talk to you again soon.